Welcome, welcome to Say It, Larry J. I am your host, Larry J. How are you doing? What is today? Monday. Happy. What is this day? View the positive chat for viewers. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, welcome to Say It, Larry J. I am your host, Larry J. Come on in. Happy Monday. Yes, sometimes I get mixed up with the days. So I hope you all are kicking off the week with a great start. And just to jump right on in, I actually titled this call Who is Flippy? And some of you probably like, well, who is Flippy? And I talk about, the future and planning, because sometimes of how we was actually brought up, you weren't pretty much taught about planning. That's why when people get into interviews and when the person asks them, well, what do you see yourself 5 years from now? What do you see yourself 10 years from now? People be like, uh, um, well, I haven't really thought about it that far. And it's actually something to think about that for, especially when you're talking about pivoting your career. And I spoke on this and I titled this as part two because, of course, on one of my other segments, I talked about, robotics, automation, and then how the pilot came out and they doing the pilot in what it is, Fort Worth with McDonald's. Well, pretty much you use the app and they have like the little robots and everything in there, and they're doing it as a trial period. Well, I have sweet tea today. This is good. I made this myself. It's not store bought. It's that Southern sweet tea. I made it today. So, just to come back in, another article came across my desk. And for those of you that may be familiar, some of you may not be familiar. Um, Down south, you have more of crystals. Crystals they sell like you know how how when folks have just gotten from the club, they either go to Hood House, Waffle House, or they may stop by Crystals. Now I haven't been hearing a lot of talk about Crystals. But Crystals is more known as, you go get like 30 burgers for $2, or what it is, 10 burgers for $1, 20 burgers for $2, and you get a whole meal for 5 families, and you only pay $5 for it. Well, that's what Crystals is known for, because you can go get the burgers there, and you just go. They probably like this big, or they like some little square, really, and you just gulp them in your mouth. Well, up north, it's more known as you have more White Castles. Well, White Castles has been they're known. They actually, in this article was published the 7th of this year. White Castle's hiring robots to give the robot tools for serving more hot and tasty foods. Flippy is the name. That's who Flippy is. That's who I'm referring to. Flippy is the name. Flippy cooks your burgers to perfection and serves up fries with the most splendid crisp for every order. I hope they know how to cook my fries fresh. Flippy gets it right each time well because it's a robot. At 100 White Crystal locations nationwide, restaurant guests can see Flippy in action, helping its human colleagues with the cooking and expediting the process. The process. I think that's the most etiquette word on how you say process is process. Even though we say process, I guess it's either or. Flippy will drop everything into the fryer and then at the perfect time, take everything out and give it a little shake, and put it into the area for the packaging team members. We'll scroll on down. Flippy 2 technology. which is let me go back. America's first fast food hamburger chain announced plans to expand its use of missile robotics Flippy 2. After putting Flippy to work, White Castle saw a positive impact on daily operations and productivity of team members. Flippy calls well the robot, which has more than 120 configurations built into what in the its technology costs approximately $3,000 per month. Utilizes an auto bin system for lower volume and specialty foods like onion rings or chicken tenders. Each bin can hold as much as a full fry basket, be customized for the kitchen specific needs, and be delineated for individual products like vegetables, fishes, and fry. And that's enough for and see, this is what's been played on in the back room, because for many people, some people just you got some people that go in and they don't take it, they take it just lightly that they actually working at, which if you work at a fast food restaurant, I mean, I applaud you. For those that enjoy and do the job with pride, I'm not talking about the ones that complain. It's most of the ones that complain have messed it up for a lot of people. So these people had to come in and say, well, hey, especially because of the pandemic, when they were issuing, well, the government was issuing out $1,000 or so a month, I mean, a week. Well, people decide they don't want to work anymore. So now, especially in fast food restaurants, some fast food restaurants, what people end up do, they work there. They quit 4 weeks. I ain't got to put up with this. You don't talk to me like that. I will cuss that blanket and like out. And so they quit. Then they decide, oh, you know what? I need some more money. I'm gonna just go back to that. I'm gonna just go back to McDonald's, Burger King. I'm gonna go back there. They gonna let me come back because they need me. Which partially it is true. Because right now, yeah, they do need people that actually come in. So they hire you back, and you come in with the same routine. So what some people did. They just sat in the back room and in the conference room saying, hey, what can we do to make our business grow and more effective? Because we don't need all 20 of these people coming in, especially when only three of them want to be there. Three don't want to be there. And then the other folks, they come in, they start cussing out folks because they really don't want to be there. They got personal problems at home. So they bring their personal problems to work. And now they ready to fight. And sometimes that's why we see some of these clips on YouTube and everything else where they go in and then a customer say something and they blast them like their customer did at Subway because he got mad because the person put mayo on his sandwich or her sandwich and shot the person. I don't think they killed them. And then you had another episode where the person was working at the restaurant and they didn't like something the customer said, and then so they what it was they threw them. I think they threw the register at the person. It was something like that. So that's why these people came up with this segment. Now, see, this is a perfect good reminder of how people go in to work. And when people go in to work like that, that's why we have to be mindful. Have you heard the phrase of, you keep your work outside the door? Because you keep your personal problems outside the door. Your personal problem don't have nothing to do with them customers or them clients. They don't. Them people don't know you. They sorry. I mean, they can't help you going through what you're going through. But you come to these people fast food restaurant and you start going bonkers. You quit, you leave, you quit, you leave, you quit. You come back, leave, you quit, come back. People ain't got time for that. They trying to keep fast food restaurants ahead. And how they're doing it, they're presenting the future to these restaurants, which is gonna cut back some people. That way you don't need 30 people working in there. Especially 30 people that's bringing in all types of attitudes. You drive up to the window, like one person said, they drove up. I want to say it was the Wendy's when they drove up, sat there. Somebody came up. what you want. And they was like, what you want? Oh, we finna go somewhere else. When people saw they were like, when people start coming to the window, what you want? They don't give you no type of elegant greeting. Mm-mm. Time to leave. But people come in with all types of problems. So they come in with all types. I'm gonna play something. This is what happened with some people. Like, how do this have to do with the future? When I get finished playing, I'm gonna explain why I have to do with the future. That's why I'm so appreciative to the positions that I've been in. Even though some of them I might have complained, but I had to learn to realize to be grateful for where I was so I can be elevated to where I want to be. Let me play this clip for you all because this is how some people go into work. Some people had their personal problems home, and this clip came from I was watching this movie called Case 39. And it was about this social worker. She really loved her job. She was passionate about it until she ran into this little girl because the little girl set her up. And so she went before the panel and she wanted to adopt the little girl. Well, this little girl was hell on wheels. So she was going in to work because she was with all this baggage and all of this stuff that she really didn't want to be bothered with this little girl anymore. So one day she went to work. And she went to work. And when she went to work, she got a phone call. But because she had all of this back, and this is what some people do, because it's called emotional control. You can't control your emotions, and you don't have the proper counseling, so you just lash out on whoever. So and excuse the language. This is what happened.
Mrs. Lynch, I told you that. Idiot. You think I'm just making it up? That's not what you said. I'm not stupid. Yeah, no. You never said anything. No, that is not what I said. I know that my son just got home. I did not. Nothing. No. You never said that. Mrs. Lynch, will you please let me respond? Would you let? Would you? Shut the fuck up, you miserable, miserable woman, before I come and beat your ass like you beat your son. I have your address. Think about that before you call and swear at me. Okay, so you're certainly in no state of mind to be here right now. Come on, it's late. You look like shit. Go home.
You seen how her voice kept elevating, and that's what brought these people into this conference room to say we need robots because oh we don't need people coming in like this, and they dealing with people food. Like what it was, somebody had went to McDonald's and they had ordered something, and the people was on autopilot, and they fixed these people food, and the person was like they didn't want no mayo, they just wanted lettuce on there. They put everything. They put lettuce, mayo, tomato, and everything else on there. And so these people are trying to make because what people don't understand, there are reports that go out with these restaurants. There are customer service reports. It is reports that go out like how many complaints they got, what type of complaints they were. Every time I drove through a drive through, they told me the machine is down. I done went through 5, 10, 20 of the same restaurants and they say the machine is down. Why is everybody saying the machine? Everybody machine tore up in the restaurants. Go there, they having complaint issues on customers. Not customers, but on the employees. Cause guess what? The employees, they having this problem.
Mrs. Lynch, I told you that. Idiot. You think I'm just making it up? That's not what you said. I'm not stupid. Yeah, no. You never said anything. No, that is not what I said. I know that my son just got home. I did not. Nothing. No. You never said that. Mrs. Lynch, will you please let me respond? Would you let? Would you? Shut the fuck up, you miserable, miserable woman, before I come and beat your ass like you beat your son. Come on, it's late. You look like shit. Go home.
It was the last part. Because that little girl was doing her eating. And that is part of what's happening with these robotics and that have taken place. Oh, that was so fun. I had to play that again. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Say It Larry J. I am your host, Larry J. And you all have a one. Oh, I can't get my thoughts out. Let's try this again. Let's rewind. Rewind and play. Thank you so much for tuning in to Say It Larry J. I am your host, Larry J. And you all have a wonderful Monday. Say prayed up. Bye.